Did you know Lil Baby was recorded on a wiretap putting money on people's heads? Similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire, it would be announced, gang investigator Marissa plays a wiretap in court alleging that Atlanta rapper Lil Baby put money on people's head. In the video, Marissa says Dominique Jones put money on people's head, which is Lil Baby's real name.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by a price? What do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
This would end up getting the attention of Young Thug, who would react, "This is the biggest liar in the DA office," exposing what Marissa looks like while calling her a liar. But did you know Lil Baby was just named in a RICO document? This has angered Young Thug, as it would be announced. The head of the Georgia PD Council's gang unit says his office is preparing to defend against a potential 4PF RICO, with the official paperwork name-dropping Lil Baby. But what's even scarier is at the court hearing today, the police mentioned the evidence they had, being the wiretap video shared earlier, as well as several documents of text messages and Instagram messages of Lil Baby allegedly placing money on their ops' heads. This is only the beginning, as this was also shared on the news.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two 13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
Rappers would also react, sharing, first Young Thug, now Lil Baby, being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all Atlanta rappers, be careful out there, as the news would reveal an important update that says, Lil Baby has been taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jakody Davis and Lamon Freeman. Police question why he closed Fort PF after the crime took place, as even when Lil Baby was asked on why he closed Fort PF, it seemed very odd. It would be announced, Lil Baby reveals he ended his record label 4PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team, seemingly trying to dodge the entire RICO case that was coming his way.
First 4 pockets full had to come to an end, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first, you know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
With Lil Baby abruptly ending 4PF, the Atlanta DA announcing the 4PF RICO trial, this all answers the question on why the Atlanta police were trying to pin 2 passings onto Lil Durk. It's an easy way of arresting him, as even the Atlanta Police Department said in quote, "This team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," when referring to the 2 people that passed away.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamon Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes. Before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
as Lil Baby recorded a music video in May where 3 people were injured, located on an ops block outside of a taco shop. However, a lady that was featured on the news ended up telling the ops that Lil Baby was there. She posted on her Facebook that Lil Baby was at the taco shop, 3 cars deep, recording a video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. You know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how we doing it Slapping Tacos, baby.
According to the police, the ops weren't even aware that Lil Baby was there filming. It was actually her Facebook video that got the attention of them, making them all pull up with firearms and clearing the scene. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby, and there's a much bigger reason as to why. It stems from this tweet that says, and I quote, "The Atlanta DA was not successful getting Young Thug. Watch, she will now target Lil Baby and use him as an example for the rest of the rappers supplying gangs with fame, money, and items for street crime. Be ready." Because the feds announcing this crime having Lil Baby involved answers one of the biggest questions the rap industry had, which is why did Lil Baby close 4PF? Right after Lil Baby's Wham album release, it was shared, Lil Baby's new album Wham was a rush release due to a legal battle coming his way. Him closing 4PF was the first sign to this, as the feds already warned the public about Lil Baby's involvement in Atlanta crimes on the news over a year ago.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
But the way how all of this connects together is extremely disturbing. Academics even revealed the Atlanta DA Fani Willis was placing a trap on Atlanta rappers, as it was confirmed when only 1 week later it was shared, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. He was then sent to the Clark County Detention Center where he was being held on a $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy. Call the number for me. Locking me up for a but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 19. Nah, check me good. I got a in my nuts. Check me good. You on the counter? I got a in my nuts. Check me good. I got a. Alright, y'all let me in that car. Shoot myself in the head. Y'all.
But what's scarier is only 8 months ago, academics revealed on stream while showing the evidence file that 4PF was on the same RICO document that YSL was on.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever. But these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But now in present day, with the YSL case being over, academics was then finally able to reveal everything, as Lil Baby's recent arrests seem almost like a warning for a massive RICO charge coming his way.
I'm going to tell you some things that you're going to have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fani Willis started targeting YSL, Fani Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Dirk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Dirk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county state watch.
But you may be wondering how this all began. It actually started 2 weeks into the YSL RICO trial, where their best friend Gunna snitched out of the case early.
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in Berkeley.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams Wearing higher and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because only 2 weeks after Gunna was out of jail, Lil Baby was weirdly arrested for an illegal window tint, with the official footage being released online.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you open up these windows? They tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. Just give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, just give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen?
827.
You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tickets in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the 10.
At the end of the footage, Lil Baby was only given a ticket and he was allowed to go on his way. However, online lawyers said when a police officer gives a ticket to someone on the street, it takes about 5 minutes to have it placed into the federal system. Once Lil Baby's name was then placed into the system, it's almost like his name was flagged, as Lil Baby would then be pulled over by another officer located on the exact same street he was driving on. He was then arrested and then placed into the county jail. He even had to fly his lawyer out on a private jet, trying to get bailed out that night. As with all of the recent arrests, Lil Baby feels like he's being targeted, likely by a former best friend, which is why when Young Thug was released from jail, he went right after Gunna. Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby, who's been firm on dissing Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial early, as Lil Baby responded to Young Thug on Instagram saying, "We should." But the following day, Thug would release a tweet as well as an Instagram video. The first tweet read, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you." This got the attention of Gunna and his brother, as Gunna's brother would say, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual." But later on that night, Thug linked up with T.I., posting an Instagram story where he clearly says that he's home and that he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
However, there's a serious issue with the sneak dissing that he's doing to Gunna. As pointed out by DJ Academics, the feds are always one step ahead. They predicted all of this happening, which is why they even gave Thug a plea deal out of prison. It would be announced. Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put Young Thug back into jail, explaining how it's all a setup for Thug to eventually fail, then go to prison for 20 years. But they also knew Lil Baby would take Young Thug's side. Beefing with Gunna alongside Thug, the Atlanta DA would then get Lil Baby and Young Thug at the exact same time.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. Well, he's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.